The next experiment that we are going to do is current relay test. Okay, relay test. We have studied so many relays: current relay, over current relay, over voltage relay, mechanical relay, electric relay, like that. So here we will be doing electromechanical relay. Electromechanical means, you know, a disc type rotation, just like you have seen in your energy meters. Okay, so this is a relay test kit. So with this experiment, what we are trying to convey is how actually a relay operates. That means, you know, that when we need a relay whenever a fault occurs, or when any other fault conditions occurs in a system. We need to switch off the main supply, or we need to isolate something like that. So for that purpose, we will be using a relay, isn't it? So for a relay to operate, here we are using we are going to see a current relay, which means we will be setting a particular value of current. Okay, so if the main current goes beyond that value, what should happen? Your relay should operate and your circuit breaker should work, isn't it? So the same thing here also. We will be setting one value of current, and we will check when the relay will operate, and we will check the time also, how long the relay will take to operate. That means if you are setting, for example, 1 ampere as a fault current, and if the current came in the main supply as 1.5 ampere, what do we expect? We expect the relay to operate. Okay. Similarly, if the current is 10 ampere, then also we will expect the relay to operate. But in which case the relay should operate much more faster? The relay should operate much more faster when the incoming current is very high. That means if the incoming current is 10 ampere, the relay should operate much faster compared to the 2 ampere or a 3 ampere current. So that current relation of the relay is being tested with the help of this kit. Okay. So for that we will see one graph that we have studied. You might have studied in your PGTP. That is, you might have seen a graph like this, and this axis, x-axis is current and y-axis is time. Okay, which means whenever the value of current is increased, what happens? Value of current is increased, then operating time decreases. That means the relay will operate much faster when the current increase. So this performance or this behavior of relay is being checked with the help of this electromechanical relay kit. This is an overcurrent relay. So this is the appearance of our overcurrent relay kit. Okay. So here you are having a case, a plastic case. You can easily remove this case with the help of this screws. Okay. Now you can see inside this. You can see inside you have a disc. Hope you can see this disc, just like an disc that you see in an energy meter. And here in this tab you can see some settings, just like 0.1, 1.5, 2, 2.53, etc. This is actually current setting. And here you can see a plug. I can remove this plug actually. So this is a plug. I can remove this plug. So this plug actually I can insert to 0.1, 0.15, 0.2 or anywhere. This is actually for current setting. So if I am inserting this plug over to this section, which means your current setting is 0.2. That means if the current goes beyond 0.2 ampere, your relay should operate. I can easily remove this plug and I can put it to somewhere else. So if I am putting it here, it means its value is 0.3, which indicates if the current goes beyond 0.3 ampere, your relay should operate. So that is the case. So for the time being, I am keeping it to 0.2 for easiness. Okay, then you can see here, this is actually the relay part. Whenever relay will operate, it will drip like this. Oh, it is stuck. Okay, so let's see during the experiment. So these are the different parts, and this is the main part here. This is a current transformer, and by varying this current transformer, we are providing what? Current to the system. This is actually we are simulating fault current. If I am providing current, which means actually I am creating a fault. That is the case. So if I am increasing this value, which means I am increasing the fault current. That means if fault current here goes beyond the setting here, the relay should operate. That is the concept. And over this section, you can see a timer dial. This is a timer dial. So this timer will read once the relay starts its operation. The timer will it's just like a clock. It will count the seconds, how long the relay will take to operate. That is being done with the help of this timer. And over to the timer, we do have different settings also. We will see to it. We have one knob here. It is for setting and starting. We will see to that later. Okay, and here this is a supply part. So on the supply part, as I already mentioned, we do have a current transformer. That input can be given with the help of these connectors. Connecting to the input. It is being connected over here. Okay. Similarly, at the output side also we need. This is for the connection to the trip circuit or the timer circuit. Okay. So here also I am connecting with the help of these connectors. Okay. So this is a connection. Now we will just briefly explain the different steps to be followed. The first step is we have to ensure that your current transformer is in the minimum position and this main switch is off. After ensuring this, type the connections and everything and ensure that this is in the off position, this knob is in the off position. After ensuring all these things, you can switch on your main supply. So the main supply is on. So after ensuring it is off and everything intact and the main supply, you can switch on this supply. You can see an indicators on both sides. This indicator is for indicating the fault current and this indicator is for indicating the time taken for the relay to operate. Okay. So the first step is we are going to set the fault current. For that we have set the current setting here as 0.2. You can see here it as 0.2. Now on moving this knob to the set position, it has been moved to the set position, then you can vary this transformer to increase the fault current. So I am gradually varying this transformer and you can see to this tab or this panel the current increasing. You can see that the current is being increased. And since we have set to 0.2 ampere, the relay will be operating only when the current here moves beyond 0.2 ampere. So I am increasing it to approximately 0.5 or something. You can see here the disc is rotating. You can see there the disc is rotating and see you can see here relay is going to operate. Yes, the relay has operated. Now what is the next step? You can see that the timer still counts 0. That means you have set the current but the timer is still counting 0. Now we need to reset this relay and we need to operate it again in order to get a timer count. For that we will bring this knob back to off position. So you can see that the disc is rotating in the reverse direction now. And yeah, once the disc is stopped, you can just reset this with the help of your finger. Okay. Now here again you can see that the fault current is 0 and the timer is 0. Now your fault current is actually set to 0.5 ampere and your disc operated and the relay operated. Now we will see the timer. For that you can move this knob to the start position. So you can see that the fault current we have set as 0.5 ampere. Your disc is rotating over here and the time taken for the disc rotation is being recorded in this panel. Now the disc stopped its rotation you can see that the current is 0, which means the relay operated and the supply is cut off. That is why the current here has reduced to 0. And here you can see that the timer is 16.48 seconds. That means 16.48 seconds has been taken by this relay to operate when the fault current is 0.5 ampere and your current setting is 0.2 ampere. So that's it. So again you can reset. You can bring this back to the off position, and still your timer displays the previous reading, so you can reset it. And here we have set the fault current as 0.5 ampere. Now we will see the time taken for our next reading. For that again you can bring it back to the set position. The current initially was 0.5, and so I am still increasing this current to some 0.8 ampere. Now you can see that your relay operate much more faster. Again I am going to check the time taken. For that again I am going to switch it off. You can see the disc is rotating in the reverse direction and the current here it is 0, and once the disc stops its rotation, I can just reset it. Now here what is the current now? We have taken as 0.8. Now we will check the value of time. So for a current of 0.8 fault current, we can see that the time taken for the relay to operate. See here now the time taken for the relay to operate is only 9.6 seconds. But in the previous case the time taken was 16 seconds. Why? Because in the previous case our current was 0.5, but now our current is 0.8. That means as the value of fault current increases, the time taken for the relay to operate decreases. Now the same procedure now we can do. We can turn it off, reset it. So similarly you can do this for different steps, different sets of readings. Okay, and you can do the same. You can do the same experiment for different flex setting also. Different flex setting means you can just remove this setting, current setting, you can remove it and you can insert it to some other setting, and you can repeat the same experiment all over again. So 4 or 5 set of readings can be taken for a single current setting, and it can be tabulated and the graph can be drawn. So once you switch it off, again the same procedure. You have to ensure that this is reset. You have to ensure that this is moved to its initial position. Just move to the initial position. Ensure that this is in the off position. If all these are ensured, you can turn off your main supply. And finally, you can turn off the main supply.